back to another edition of the Punchers Point with yours truly, Breezy and Mario. Breaking news, some great news, especially for gamers. It seems that a boxing game is officially on the abrupt of dropping and releasing. I know a lot of y'all, maybe some, maybe a few others, have seen things erupting with the Undisputed boxing game, which was originally called ESBC, but was changed to Undisputed. I know some of y'all been seeing, y'all been waiting years and years. Obviously, for people who have a PC, who have a Steam account, you got to play it earlier, you got to get a glimpse of what the game was like. But for us console players, we've been waiting for years. And now, at last, the game has finally come out. Undisputed dropped on the official X page, Twitter page, whatever you want to call it, that this game will be coming out October 11th this year. This year, you get to finally get the game that you've been suddenly waiting for. Finally, at last, you get to finally get a boxing game. You don't have to keep going back to UFC to do the standard boxing. There's a boxing game on the way. Now, something I want to add. If you pre-order the game, you get 1993 version of Roy Jones as a playable character. Another thing I do want to add, kind of like how they do the 2Ks, the Maddens, there's a deluxe edition and there's a standard edition. The standard edition has Canelo Alvarez on the cover, and the deluxe edition has Tyson Fury on the cover. So, like I just said, if you pre-order it, you get 1993 version of Roy Jones as a playable character. This is great news. I don't know if y'all Xbox or whatnot, but I'm just letting y'all know right quick right now. We PS5 over here, but you know what I mean? No hate to you Xbox players, but it's great news. I'm glad to hear it. I love to see it. But Mario, what's your thoughts on a boxing game finally coming out after all these years?
Tyson Fury on the deluxe edition. No disrespect to him, but what sense does that make? You're gonna put Canelo on the regular, and you're gonna put him on the deluxe. What sense does that make? Couldn't you could have got a boxing Hall of Famer, you know what I'm saying? You could have got Mike Tyson, Muhammad Ali, you could have got Sugar Ray Leonard, Sugar Ray Robinson. What you doing getting Tyson Fury? No disrespect to Tyson Fury, but why is he on the deluxe? That's like me putting that's like me putting Patrick Mahomes on the regular cover, and then the deluxe is like Tyreek Hill. It just don't make no sense. But overall for the game, I'm super excited. You know what I'm saying? Like UFC is the only game that us as console players could play and actually have some sense of fun as boxing fans. But we've all been saying it. We've been waiting for a boxing game on the console to happen for so long, and all the console boxing games have just not been that good. There's been Creed, Rise to Glory, but we don't want to play that. There's been the arcade boxing games. We don't want to play that. There's been the games on the phone that have tried their best, and they've been all right. But I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. We've been waiting for this for a very, very long time. And let me tell you something, Breezy. We got GTA 6. We got the return of NCAA college football coming back to EA Sports. We got a boxing game, the first boxing game for the console since 2010 Fight Night Champions. This is a big, big time for gamers. I'm saying that right now. And we just mentioned GTA and two sports games. We haven't even mentioned all the others, and obviously we're not a gaming channel, so we're not going to do that. But what I will say is this is a time to be alive for boxing fans. I'm saying that right now. A lot of you people, a lot of people are still criticizing boxing. Let me tell you something. After the choke of UFC 5 and with all these boxing fights happening so far, this is a great time to be a boxing fan. You got the video games coming out, you got the fights coming out. I mean, we just had Earl Spence and Terrence Crawford for Undisputed. We just had Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia. We're gonna have Tyson Fury and Alexander Usyk, Dmitry Bivol and Arthur Beterbiev. We got some big fights coming. Tank Davis, Frank Martin. We can go on and on about all the fights that are going to be happening, but I'm saying this right now. This is the time to be a boxing fan, and it's time that you guys start watching boxing again. You guys start appreciating this sport. Now, the excitement is there, but also the concerns. Okay, before there was Undisputed Boxing, there was a game called Fight Night, and I'm gonna be honest with you, Breezy. That game's gonna be hard to beat. That game is going to be hard to beat for any boxing fan. Fight Night was our childhood. I remember specifically popping it into my PSP and playing it while my parents went shopping. It took so much time. I played hours and hours on end. I I continued to play that game in hopes that I would be a boxing champion. And then I had an ex, and then she had the game, and I popped that into the Xbox and I played that thing till 2 a.m. The excitement was still there. Here's the concerns. When you play a game like Fight Night, that's as iconic as Fight Night is, it puts a lot of pressure on these new games to step up and make it as big as Fight Night was. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be a big game, but at the same time, Fight Night was just different. It was a different game, and you didn't even have to be a boxing fan. But let me tell you something. You had an Xbox 360. You had Fight Night on there. Let me tell you something. I cannot recall an Xbox 360 user who did not have Fight Night, who did not have at least one Fight Night on their game. I can't recall. But I will say this. I think this is a really good thing for boxing fans. I think it's a really good thing for the video game systems because the way I look at it is I like that EA Sports hasn't announced that they're going to be releasing another fight night. I'm glad that they're kind of taking a back seat. And the reason why I say that is because they're doing the smart thing. They're going to wait and they're going to see how this plays out. They're going to see the success of Undisputed and they're going to see what Undisputed does good. And I'm going to be honest with you, Breezy, if Undisputed is a hit, best believe EA Sports is going to match it. You know what that means, people? Fight Night is coming back, which means not only will we have Undisputed, but we'll have Fight Night as well. Let me tell you something, Breezy. I'm going to make sure I spend 12 hours on each game. Let me tell you that much. 12 hours on each game a day. I'm going to make sure that I am the WBC champion in Undisputed and the WBC champion in Fight Night. I'm going to make sure I'm undisputed in both games, and ain't nobody touching me in either one of those. I do believe that the competition of Undisputed is going to definitely ignite a fire in EA Sports. They released the NCAA, the college football game. After 10 years, they're bringing it back. I have no doubt in my mind that if Undisputed does good, they're going to release Fight Night again, and that is going to send the boxing world into a frenzy. Undisputed is sending the boxing world into a frenzy. And if you go and you watch the game from their trailer on X, you'll notice that they did a good job with the trailer. They showed Tyson Fury and Alexander Usyk, which is probably the biggest fight in boxing right now. They showed Canelo Alvarez and Terrence Crawford going back and forth because there's been a lot of speculation about that being a quote unquote dream match. Obviously, there's money involved in that. We saw the Riyadh season. We saw little peaks of that. And on top of that, I heard that they're going to be introducing Everlast. They're going to be introducing WBC. So it's going to feel like a real boxing game. Now, some things that I would like to see, they're going to have a career mode. I want to see how they do with that. I think Fight Night always had a great career mode. I wasn't a big fan of career mode for Fight Night Champions, but rounds 1 through 4, I was definitely a big fan of it. I want to see what they do as far as details. I remember in Fight Night, you could be your own cut man and you can heal your own cuts and all that type of stuff. And I always thought that was pretty cool. You could pick what opponents to fight. I remember in the career mode, if your guy had a bad training camp, it would affect his body. Just realistic stuff like that. That's what I would like to see. And I truly believe that Undisputed Boxing is going to have a lot of pressure to make a great boxing game. But if they can do that, best believe that I truly believe with all my heart, with all my soul, that Fight Night will return and we are going to get Fight Night versus Undisputed Boxing. And I think that is going to be a battle in itself.
Like a little glimpse and clips of it. And I think they have that option in there where you can like choose who you want to fight. I think that option is still in there because I'm pretty seen from what I've saw, I'm pretty sure I seen a guy who was like playing around with it and like he had like 3 options. Because I think he had this character in the heavyweight division. So he had like Tyson Fury and he had like 2. I don't remember the other 2, but he had Tyson Fury and he had 2 others. He got to pick and choose who will be his next opponent. So I do believe that option is still in there though.
And if it is, that's great for us boxing fans. You know what I'm saying? I want this game to feel as realistic as possible. When I play this game, the one thing that Fight Night made me do, I played this game, Fight Night made me feel like I was a real boxer. It made me understand, the come up of boxing and how this sport works from the amateurs all the way to the pros. You know what I'm saying? And it showed me not only like the level of difficulty. Fight Night taught me a lot about the world of boxing. It taught me a lot. And as stupid and as corny as that might sound, it's facts. I learned a lot from that game, and I expect Undisputed to have that same kind of realistic feel. Sometimes UFC didn't have that realistic feel. Those UFC games, sometimes it didn't have that realistic feel. You can't get knocked out. You know what I'm saying? And like keep having the same sequence over and over again. It's got to be real. You need to have a realistic feel for the game. And I truly believe that if undisputed, I've heard about the patches with undisputed, how there's been some things that a lot of gamers have been complaining about on the PC. And I do want to say, I hope those patches are fixed. I hope it's not the same problems that the PC users are having. I hope that once it gets to the console, it's going to be a complete game. But what I will say is the number one thing that I want to see from this game is I want it to feel as realistic as possible. That is the number one thing I want. I want to see from this game. And if it's as realistic as possible, this is going to be a great game, Breezy. This is going to be a great game. And again, I'm going to say it one time. Undisputed, thank you for coming back and saving us boxing fans. Fight night. Come back. EA Sports, make the game again. All right. It was one of your most successful games on the Xbox 360. That game was fire. I had it for the PSP. It was also fire. Bring it back. And let's get this war started between Undisputed and Fight Night. Let's give the boxing fans what they want, which is entertaining games, entertaining fights. And I'm telling you right now, Breezy, I've said it once, I've said it millions of times. Now is the time to be a boxing fan.
How did I forget to mention this? But the consoles that it will be on: Xbox Series X/S, the PlayStation 5, and PC/Steam systems. Now, I know a lot of people probably asking about the Xbox Ones, the PS4s. Now, look, a lot of people on Twitter, they bullying y'all, telling y'all to get y'all money up and buy a new console. I'm just gonna say this. When the game was advertised the first come out, it was said it was gonna be for PS4 and Xbox One, but I think they changed their mind with that. From what I'm seeing, it's new gen only. So if you want to play this, you got to either have a PC, gaming computer, gaming laptop, whatever, a PlayStation 5, or the new Xbox Series X/S. I do want to put that out there.
For all you Switch users, time to get off Super Mario and to buy that Undisputed boxing game. And I love Mario. Don't get me wrong. Look, I got the name. I love Super Mario, but let me tell you something. Super Mario is not beating any boxing game that you can think of for a console. It's not happening. It's not beating Fight Night. It's not beating Undisputed. So it's time for you Switch users to go and get yourself a PlayStation or an Xbox, maybe even a PC, play some Undisputed, and go kick some ass.
Who knows? By the time we get the game and whatnot, if y'all want to run up, I have no problem stumping y'all out in Undisputed. To anybody that's watching this and they want to comment in the chat, they little PlayStation name, I have no problems with stumping y'all out. You know what I mean? But nah, let me start with all the little jokes.
Fury, huh? Let me take that chance real quick.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. But man, we excited, man. Have a boxing game drop in so long. It's finally here, man, and we're glad to, and it's dropping this year. Remember, y'all, October 11th, 2024, the game releases. Remember, if you pre-order it, you get 1993 version of Roy Jones Jr. as a playable character.
After that whole Ryan Garcia Devin Haney fight, all you Devin Haney fans can go on that game and do what you wanted to do for the longest time, which is stomp Ryan Garcia. For
Hey,
all you freaking Lomachenko fans, if you got pissed after the Devin Haney loss, you can go back on that game and you can go stomp Devin Haney.
Haney's not you got to create Devin Haney, but oh yeah, as soon as I get that game, oh yeah, I'm gonna watch out for that left hook now, Ryan Garcia. When I get that game, I'm gonna watch out for that hook, and I'm gonna tear that behind though.
For all you Errol Spence fans who got pissed over over the result, guess what? You know who's in that game? Terrence Bud Crawford. So if you just want to go up against him and get a few, 3 rounds in there and do what you need to do, go at it. I ain't blaming y'all.
For all you people that's mad at Conor Ben for eating all them eggs and failing them drug tests, he's in the game. I'm just saying.
Remember, I had a friend, and every single time his dad would like piss him off, he made his dad in Fight Night, and he would just be his dad, which I'm not encouraging in real life. But nah, he used to have some wars with him in that game. I'll tell you that much. Let's just say the least. That's just to say the least. I ain't gonna mention anything else, but like his dad told him to clean his room, he'd go right on that game.
And we can't wait for this game. We know y'all can't wait for this game. Y'all know what the deal is. I know it's not the typical episodes, but just because we had fun with this episode and we're announcing a game release, and that does not mean that we're not focused. Alexander Usyk and Tyson Fury is tomorrow, okay? And the Puncher's Point is active and live every single week.
Watch out for that post-fight episode as well. Right after the fight, we're gonna talk to you about it.
Y'all know what the deal is. It's the Puncher's Point. We live every week. We tapped in every week, dropping boxing news, predictions, updates, and announcements on y'all. Y'all know what the deal is. Follow the X, follow the Twitter, whatever you want to call it. Follow Instagram. If you want to keep up with the threads, you can. Optional. That's optional because we know how threads is. That's optional. But y'all know what the deal is. It's the Punchers Point. Make sure y'all stay on point with the Punchers Point.